Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
Lesbians have a 75% divorce rate. Y'all can't even put up with yourselves.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's Girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video is a video of a TikToker, a woman who asked a question, and she was basically asking men that why are most single men not actively looking to be in a relationship. And she wanted to talk about this research that she talked about, that most men are not actively, single men are not actively looking for a relationship, and that by the year 2030 there will be a lot of single women and men. And why is this so? And she was just striking a conversation that she wants the men to highlight more why they are not in a relationship. Anyway guys, let's go here, hard talk, and then we'll come back and talk.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner. Even if you weren't to remarry, just to have a partner. I mean, I've talked to a lot of men. I've got my answers, but I want to hear it in the comments. So please, drop it in the comments.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts to this question she asked. If you're a man, I would like to know what you think, and what do you think is the reason for this, or you agree with these statistics that they're coming up with. This has gotten a lot of men to respond to her and give their reasons why most men want to stay single rather than have a partner. Now she's not even talking about marriage. She's just saying that, okay, don't even marry, don't even remarry, just be in a relationship, just have a partner. And this has gotten men talking, and men had responded to this. So you please go down in the comment section and share this. I have my own thought as always, but I'm just going to wait to the end of the video. So let's go hear men's response to this woman's question, and let's see what they have to say.
Men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking.
I don't know about anyone else. I found this video really funny. The creator, Jen, cites some studies and surveys that indicate that a growing number of men are checking out of dating altogether. They are single and they are committed to remaining single. They're not looking for girlfriends or wives, and they're not dating. They have just committed to being single for the rest of their lives. And then very reasonably, she asks the question, why are men doing this? Why are these men checked out completely? And she acknowledges she's received answers, that men are trying to protect their peace, that men are happy with their lives and not looking to disrupt that. And this is the part that's hilarious to me. She follows that by saying, not good enough, I have more questions. Talk more. Tell me more. Explain more. Justify yourself more. And I feel like she's answering her own question there. Men told her they were tired of having to justify themselves and explain themselves, and they were tired of things being demanded of them. And she said, no, that's not good enough. I demand more. It's like the call's coming from inside the house.
Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
All right. It's because a lot of women don't want to date a man. Stay with me. Seems most women want a man to date them. Let me break that down. Okay. Before I carry on, I personally have lucked out. My wife is a unicorn. She's awesome. But I've been with some real bad ones before. But most women don't want to integrate into your life. They don't want to be sitting there while you're playing poker with the guys that you've done for the last 15 years. They don't want to be a part of your motorcycle club. They don't want to go to you with shooting matches. They don't want to date you. They want you to date them. And if they're over 25, they probably got a youngin', and over 30, they probably got at least 2 youngins that they're looking for somebody to fill the void that their pappy left. And you know for a fact that you will never be number one.
Okay. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
Okay, let me preface what I'm about to say with the fact that I not only love, but I like and respect women. and that my thoughts and opinion are my own, and that I'm not saying it. I'm speaking for every man, okay? That being said, I'm going to answer to the most honest way possible. A lot of men don't want to be in relationships because there's just a lot of nasty attitudes and entitlement, and the dating pool is trash. And it's like, just like everyone is in this I don't give a competition of like, oh, I could care less, so I win. And it's just like, it's so weird out here. Like everyone says they want a relationship, but nobody wants to do the work, right? Everyone is trying to get everything they want without putting forth much of anything. You got women who are saying they openly want men to buy them everything they want, or they'll find someone who can. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm not saying that's a majority of women, or even like that's like a handful of women. A big sample size, but a handful of women. I wouldn't say it's all of them. Then comes just the fact that a lot of women don't know what they want. And I'm not talking about like going out to eat or something like that. I'm talking about a lot of women don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. A lot of women haven't done the work. A lot of women haven't been in therapy. A lot of women don't know how to communicate. A lot of women are emotional tyrants and they're petty. Okay? I'm not talking about, I don't use the word emotional the way most men do to try and disregard a woman's thoughts, feelings, or opinions or something. I mean, like, a lot of women really just are not emotionally regulated. Now, I'm sure we could say the same for men, but I'm talking about from my perspective right now, okay? So then you can't communicate. You don't know what you want, right? You might be stuck in a second childhood where you think a man should pay for everything. You guys want relationships, but you don't want to put in the work that comes with them, which is like, oh my God, consideration of your partner. It's not control if your partner may not like something. How about communicating through complex subjects or topics? There's that. Also, let's keep in mind, a lot of women don't want the men that want them. Not even giving them a chance. Women want men to work until they're 70, paying off for everything, so they don't have to, so they just could take care of the house. And then when he drops dead from exhaustion, they're like, well, on to the next. I have a lifestyle to be upkept. That's not including that women expect men to come put together already. Like, you can't be a work in progress and date. And I personally think that's very elitist, but whatever. A lot of women want men like, oh, no, I'm not helping you. I'm not putting up with your emotions. I'm not doing that. We see it on TikTok all the time. We see it in real life all the time. Women don't want men to be like humans. They want men to be stoic men. So it's like, in a way, a lot of women want the good old patriarchy to serve them for their best interest, but they don't want the full patriarchy. So that's confusing. I mean, not including it's expensive. And then lastly, or one of the many other things, is that women are irritating. Like, we could say men are trash. Men hear men are trash all the time. But do women really realize how irritating they can be, bro? How unnecessarily, I'm talking about, like, it varies from sensitivity to and hurt feelings to a bunch of other stuff. I truly look at it and I'm just like, the dating out here is trash, bro. Like, if the ball had bounced differently in my favor, who knows, I probably would have been married, or I'd be in a relationship right now, happily working on it. But as I see it right now, I don't see a relationship for a lot of guys because of some of the reasons I've listed, in addition to the emotional tyranny that men have to deal with women's emotions. And I'm not talking about just like, oh, I'm happy, I'm sad, or I'm cranky, I'm hungry. I'm talking about like real rap, like, and then no one appreciates thoughtful, simple gestures anymore. Everything needs to be ornate or ostentatious or something like that. And it's like, baby girl, why don't we just go to Cheesecake Factory? Like, I know I make light of it, but like, imagine we had like think pieces on like why you shouldn't go to a chain of restaurants. It's like, what the fly? When did chain restaurants become too good for dates? I don't even know you. I'm not taking you to Nobu. I'm not taking you to a fancy place like Red Robin or Olive Garden. You know? I'm joking, but in a way, like, I'm like, it's like, come on, like, be considerate. Like, a lot of women aren't considerate of men at all. Like, at all, in the slightest. So then why would men want to give up their peace, their solitude, and sometimes loneliness to bring another person in their life who's not adding or contributing to anything but one or multiple of the things I've listed? I don't know. But shout out to whatever. If you're in a relationship, congrats, love you. I hope it works out. And if you're not in a relationship, Congrats. Love you. Hope that works out for you too. Okay, bye.
More talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner.
This is actually the perfect time because I'm just leaving the gym. So basically this woman is asking why men are choosing to be single instead of being in a relationship. Now I can't speak for all men, but I'm pretty sure we're thinking the same thing. Number one, I think the woman nowadays, they want the benefits of a relationship while still doing what they want and single things, which honestly is pretty selfish in my opinion, and that's not a part of being in a partnership. If you're in a partnership, you do have to take into consideration what the other person wants, and it just seems like a lot of women nowadays don't want to do that. I think the second reason has to do with the investment of our time, energy, and money just to end up with nothing in the end. When a man goes into a relationship, he wants to stay with that girl. He puts his money, time, and energy into it, hoping that it will last. But women nowadays, it just seems like if you're unhappy, you're gone. There's no stability. There's no stability at all. There's no toughing out. It's kind of like, oh, if I'm not happy, I'm gone. So why would I start something again and again and again just to get taught the same lesson every time? And honestly, I'm sure there's a lot more reasons, but I think the main thing is feminism. And just to be quite frank, most guys don't care, and we don't want to hear that you're independent and you don't need us and all those type of things. Because at the end of the day, you don't need a cookie for taking care of yourself. That's something we're supposed to do. Congratulations. Like, us men been doing that for I don't know how long. We're already expected to do that. So when you come rub in our face that you don't need us and you can do it yourself, it's kind of like, all right, do it yourself.
Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
To put it simply, men want partners, and that's not what they're finding.
And between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner.
So it's a couple reasons, in my humble opinion, and it's on both sides too. Starting with the men, about toxic gender norms and all that, at the end of the day, I have the humble belief that women want their man to lead. You want him to take initiatives. You want him to plan dates. You want him to plan vacations. You want to not have to think as a woman when you're with your man. That's just in your nature. And a man truly in his masculine, he wants to do those things. He wants to plan. He wants to go on trips and he wants to pay for everything. In his true, utter nature. The 50-50 stuff is, you're lying to yourselves. I don't know. I don't know. Who am I? Ultimately, the problem is there's not enough men that are actually willing to admit that maybe I'm not the best leader. Maybe I'm not willing to do the work it takes to become that leader, both mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. But then on the flip side, there are so many women out there nowadays that are just not worth leading. They're not worth protecting, paying money for, or anything. No, pause. I don't do the... They're not worth any of that because of the way that they degrade themselves through social media, showing their bodies too much. Most men don't like opposite friendships because most men can't be opposite friends. And women in this day and age still have these expectations of men, but they're not traditional in how they show up either. And I don't blame them. If I wasn't Muslim, I probably would be aiming to be very single for a very long time.
See it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's...
Now, this is no diss, but it's funny that she even has to ask why after a man has said, I need my peace. I feel like that's enough in itself. But let's break it down. Number one, some women aren't looking for a significant other. They're not looking for a partner. They're just looking for a man that is willing to take care of them and spend money on them and finance a lifestyle. You have another set of women that are just very selfish and they only think about themselves. They only want their feelings heard and they only want their emotions to be taken into place. Once that man starts to vocalize the things that he needs and the things he wants, he's not understood and or that woman just doesn't care to listen. My third one is role playing. Every relationship is different. Everyone's relationship and roles in their relationship is going to look different. But please understand, you need to play a role in your relationship to benefit that other person. A lot of the problems men are seeing is, well, you just want to rely on me for everything. You just want to count on me for everything. Can I rely on you for anything? Because if the only thing you're going to do is be a liability and you're not an asset to this relationship, how about I just get rid of the liability and just worry about me, myself, and I, and now I don't have as much stress on my plate.
In the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner.
This is a really important point that she's brought out here, and I want you to go back to the original video and read all the comments on it. So once you've read the comments, I want you to take to heart what they are saying. And I want you to see yourself in your previous relationships if you've been divorced and reflect on how you have treated your ex-partner. Perhaps you need to go back and apologize, and perhaps you need to do some work on yourself. You see, there are wounds on both sides of the gender gap. The men have behaved poorly towards the women, and the women have behaved poorly to the men. I'm saying that again, the women have behaved poorly to the men. Go back and listen to it. It's a great video. It's really, really important that we grab hold of this, because in the future, there might not be anybody out there to date. I'm Ingrid. I'm all about relationships.
I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you...
Allow me to step in and answer that. A lot of guys are just checking out because they're figuring out and finding out that a lot of women cheat. A lot. More than men ever dreamed. Women cheat. And not only that, when things aren't going perfect, the stats are very clear. Most of the time, women pack up and just want to leave. And have you ever been to court for a divorce? I have 3 times. It's not pretty for men. You don't want to go to divorce court if you're a man. If you're a woman, you absolutely can't wait to go, because all the rules are on your side. Men, no rules on our side. We get taken to the cleaners. So let's see. You can get married. In all likelihood, your wife's going to cheat. In all likelihood, your wife is going to leave you instead of you leaving her. And in all likelihood, half your retirement, alimony, everything you've earned, everything you've gotten is going to be taken from you. So what's the incentive for guys to get married? I don't know anymore. I don't know what the incentive is. And that's why many guys are choosing, nah, I think I'll pass. That's your answer.
Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
So I eventually want that old happy relationship, married life, kids, the whole 9 yards. Sorry, I just woke up. But the dating scene now, currently as it stands, I'm very happy with just staying single. And the reason that is, like this creator was asking, is just because the energy is not reciprocated. A lot of people are asking for the princess treatment, but heaven forbid that we ask for prince treatment, because that just doesn't exist, right? Because we just aren't worthy of anything, apparently. I don't know. A lot of the times our hobbies are not even validated anymore as well. Where, if we like video games, oh, that's such a childish thing to like. You need to grow out of it and grow up and be a man. Liking sports is childish. Liking Star Wars is childish. And all these different hobbies that we men have are deemed childish, and we need to grow up and grow out of. Because at the end of the day, for me to actually want to be in a relationship, I'm going to need a teammate in all aspects of life. What does being a teammate mean in a relationship? That it's literally being a teammate. I mean, you're happy to be a part of that team. You claim that is your boyfriend. You're proud of that being your boyfriend, and you're like excited, and you are still chasing after your boyfriend. Like it's known, and it's a common aspect that the guy always chases the girl, but that energy is not reciprocated ever. And my favorite fact is that all the strongest relationships that I see, celebrity or just friends or whatever, is when both are being chased by the other, when both are teammates to one another, when both reciprocate each other's energy. And the way that the dating scene is right now, that's not there. It's not even being offered. And until it's going to be offered that the energy is going to be reciprocated, I'm going to stay single. And until that moment, I will just be happy watching Avatar by myself, okay? Watching Star Wars, watching Lord of the Rings, going hiking, going camping, going to sporting events. I'm totally okay with doing that by myself. Because until that energy is reciprocated, I'm good. Thanks.
Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life.
I got this, guys. If you were told that your plane had a 25% chance of landing at its destination, would you still board the plane? Because relationships, 1 in 4 last. 1 in 4. Those are your odds. And a good foundational structure of a relationship is based on trust, loyalty, and respect. Okay? Now, the vast majority of people out there don't provide this. And the sad truth of the matter is that women are in it for the money and the reputation. Very few of them are actually on the lookout for true love. Okay? Men get invested into a relationship with women because we want to be loved. We want to be loved. We want your unconditional love. We just want you. That's it. You can work at McDonald's, minimum wage. We don't care. We'd marry you anyway. Because it doesn't matter. Status, reputation, money doesn't matter to us. Whereas a woman, she would never marry a man that worked at McDonald's. And that's just hard facts. Okay. There's a single person out there that can actually say, like, in terms of women, that would look at a man working at McDonald's and be like, I love that guy so much, I'm going to marry him. Yeah. Yeah. Because women these days, they're not looking to be lovers. They don't want to love their men. They want to take advantage of them. You look at the amount of material out there where women take advantage of men, and you can actually, I'll give you a good example of that. I've been at coffee shops and at restaurants, and I've actually listened to women talking about their prospective new romantic partners to their friends. And their friends constantly emasculate the guy and tear him down to basically, what is he going to do for you? What can he do for you? Right. So, like, is that love? Because I don't think that's love. You know? And so, like, we're looking to be loved, and women are looking to use. And that's basically the priority for women at this point in time. Almost all of the ones that I've come across. And I'm not kidding. I've been through the mill with a lot of different women. I've been used, I've been abused, I've been discarded. I've had all of my materialistic stuff taken from me. I've had assets taken from me. I've had all sorts of things taken from me from just being in a relationship with a woman. My mistake, right? Because I was there to be loved and I got used. And you know how many times that's happened to me, to the point where I could not trust women. So, like, I basically have given up. I don't even want a relationship anymore. I can't imagine any guy wants one after what I've been through, to be perfectly honest. And it's heartbreaking. So that's your answer.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. Okay? So I find this video very interesting because we've also heard a lot of women talking about how they're happy being single, they're not looking for men because the dating scene is trash and all that. And hearing men talk about this, it's just like, okay, some of the things they're saying make sense, some doesn't make sense. Like talking about how women are not emotionally available, how women just want to take and all that, how women are not ready to be loved. There are women out there that is looking to be loved. Like I'll say a whole lot of women are out there looking to be loved. A whole lot of women are closed up because of their terrible dating experience. I'm speaking because I'm a woman, okay? A whole lot of women are shut up, closed up because of dating experience. So now they are very up guard and all that. And I feel like almost the same thing for hearing the men talk is almost the same thing. But one thing I get, a lot of men are not listening. I would like even say a lot of men. I feel like we the women were listening. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we the women are listening, but the men are not listening, and that is why most of the time it's the women that end up filing for divorce or calling off the relationship, because now we're realizing that we don't have to be in that permanent state of unhappiness. We can walk away now. So we're taking that and we're just like, you know what, if you're not going to put in the work in this relationship, if you're not going to really come in 100% for us to be a teammate, because I feel like a lot of men just talk about how they want to be a teammate, but when it actually comes to the work being done, being a teammate, like being emotionally available, communicating, going to therapy, knowing who you are, work out issues, I feel like most men just shut down rather than really walk through it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my own take. I didn't say all men, most men. So I feel like that just made it really hard for women to, like, you know what, they check out. And I feel like that was, they've checked out and make women to always ask when they're getting into a relationship, like, oh, so what's there for me? Like, what's there for me? Because this man is going to. And naturally, a woman wants to be taken care of. People will talk about, oh, so a woman can date a man working in McDonald's. If you're not going to bring in the money, and I feel like a lot of us women will come, we talk about, oh, how we want a man to be a provider. Yes, we love all those things, but I feel like most women, if they find a man that treats them right and they can be a teammate together, most women, especially black women, are ready to go team player with them. So yeah, women really talk about this and saying that that is the reason. I just feel like this is a place and this is the time, men and women, because we're both looking for love. And I've said this before in a couple of my videos. Naturally, we as humans, we are looking for companionship. We're looking for that connection with another human. So can we just put our pride and all the mind games we're playing? I did one video of men talking about how they manipulate women. Can people just be honest, be vulnerable with what they want and how they feel about the other person, so that everybody knows exactly what they are getting themselves into? Be honest about your intentions, your expectation in the relationship, and if things are changing up even in the slightest bit, communicate with the person you're with. I feel like if there's this really honest transparency on both parts, both male and female, I feel like the dating game will be. But with all these mind games that is being played, hurts being passing, and this is why I always say that even rather than even start raising children, making a family, a whole lot of us need to start going to therapy, go know ourselves, heal our inner child, heal our trauma before we get into the dating game. Because I feel like when we get into the dating game with our trauma, without healing it, without knowing who we are as a person, it becomes a baggage, and which end up triggering and causing stuff in the relationship. Anyway, guys, I really love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. So go ahead and share your own thought, but please keep it respectful. Go ahead and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.